McDonald's takeout cartons, which I could barely even tell unless someone told me that.
Yeah, I didn't notice that until the DVD comes with like a big booklet with a bunch of liner notes, and after I read it before I watched the movie, and I was like, oh yeah, that's fucking very obvious, and I may not have noticed otherwise, but
Right. Yeah, because they did a good job with
it's the
what
breakfast
they had.
takeout things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, those old school cartons. But yeah, I guess we'll go into review or to my score. Fun, just cheesy sci-fi horror. With good effects for the most part. With some very iconic scenes. Hammy acting, but had a lot of cool cameos. And
Well, it's not even cameos if they're just in the movie. I mean,
it
can't be cameos because they weren't famous yet.
True. Well, I'll say okay. A lot of
just a really stacked cast.
Yeah, stacked cast. Thank you.
Yeah, it's like Ocean's 11 before they were fucking famous.
They're like the Rat Pack or the Brat Pack, but like the horror, so it's like a Brat Pack.
A Brat worst.
I was just thinking that.
Worst pack of
brats.
Yeah, I don't know. That's enough.
No, but for what it was I went into it expecting cheesiness, and I've seen this before. Like, I think this is my third time watching it now. I'd probably give it about a 7.
Okay. I never seen it before. As expected with 80s sci-fi films, you get the old IBM computers with 1,000 buttons, and how in the fuck do they remember what to hit, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, the acting was pretty lame. The effects were decent. They're good. There's some good kills. I don't think I'd ever watch it again after only my first viewing. It's not even one of those where I would have just turned it off if I didn't have to watch it. I probably would have finished it just because of... Well, Haig dies pretty early in the film, and then Robert Englund. It's interesting seeing him pre-Freddy. I'm going to give this a 6. Just because if this was filmed like later in the 80s, I would have gave it a lesser score. Because there's time to ape shit off other movies.
You do have to hand it to him for, like, it's pretty early on. It's like, 1980, and the gore is pretty high. The sleaze factor is pretty high.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to give it a 6.75. It's a little bit better than, like, Forbidden World, but not...
Isn't that from, like, way before this?
No, that's Forbidden Planet.
Oh, Forbidden Planet, okay. Yeah.
Forbidden World is another one of the cheesy, gory, sci-fi Corman movies from this era. And but it's like, it's nowhere near in the same league as like Humanoids from the Deep or something like that. But it is fun to see Sid Haig in his like post Women in Prison, pre-Rob Zombie cycle, and to see Robert Englund in a beefier role than Eaten Alive, but before Nightmare on Elm Street. And it's a big ensemble cast, and that's always kind of a way to score easy points with me for whatever reason. And yeah, like I said earlier, this movie reminds me of The Sentinel mixed with Alien, and it's not just because of like the plot points from The Sentinel that it lifts, and like playing on the victim's fears and like having the survivor being a replacement for someone else or whatever, but the cast is also like, because the Sentinel has a huge cast of people before they were people.
Mm-hmm.
Before they were people? Oh.
Before they were important Hollywood people.
They were just laying...
They were sperm and
They
eggs.
were laying dormant fucking flesh blobs. That's all they were before this.
Uncombined sperm and egg. Yeah, 6.75.
All right.
Do you recommend?
Recommend?
Do you recommend it?
I would recommend it to anybody that just like enjoys like the cheesy style.
Yeah, you have to
movies.
you have to like see your D movies. Honestly, it's not even like a B movie in a lot of regards. But
yeah, I'd recommend it though.
Yeah, I would too, and I'm gonna watch it again.
You are?
Yeah.
Tomorrow?
I own it. I'm gonna watch it again in a few years, I'm sure.
Oh, okay. So on to our next film.
So our second movie is the fantastic, fun, shot-on-video, independent, do-it-yourself Deadly Spawn, directed by Douglas McKeown in the year of our Lord 1983.
It's his only film. It's his only work, period.
Yeah, it is.
But he spent his entire like childhood growing up filming like home movies and shit. So
yeah, he was like a Sam Raimi type.
So this is his only film that he's ever done or anything on. So he's
Which
like,
is kind of startling.
It's weird that like he spent his entire fucking childhood growing up to this point,
Right.
and he does it, and that's it.
And then he's like, "Oh, I got it. All right, I'm done."
And it was good too.
It was really, really.
So
good.
why not? Have you seen? He's 70. Have you seen his IMDb profile
No.
pic? It's a new pic. He looks like he's 40.
Huh.
Wow.
It's weird. I don't know.
Movie has a really good score by Michael Perlstein. The effects are by Arnold Gargiulo. And honestly, I forget the name of the guy that did the effects on... Another guy that did the effects on this was the dude that did Night Beast. His name I can't fucking remember.
Let's see if I can look it up.
Somebody wants to space phone that.
I'll space phone it.
So basically, this movie is about a meteor that crash lands on the planet, and what comes out of it, alien parasite that grows and grows and grows and grows, kind of like a goldfish or a carp, and just get as big as its environment, and according to whatever it can eat. The people that encounter it and them trying to survive against it, one household of people in particular. It's kind of a Night of the Living Dead type motif. But
you can almost just think Seymour from A Little Shop of Horrors kind of looks like that a little bit.
yeah.
Just the mouth, I guess.
John Dodds.
John Dodds, yeah. That's the guy that he did some effects on this too. The creature in this is just
It's awesome.
one of the coolest fucking creatures in movie history.
Dude, I was impressed by that creature.
Yeah.
The
Definitely.
first time I saw this movie, I thought to myself, like, you remember the Max, right?
Yeah.
Like, I thought to myself that Sam Keith must be a huge fan of this because those little things that the Max was always fighting
Yeah.
remind me a lot of this creature. It's because
didn't think
it's just
about
all
that,
mouth
yeah.
and
It's like
teeth.
teeth, yeah. Wow.
But, so, like, a meteor crash lands and some campers go to check it out. It's funny how many fucking movies from the 80s start off with that exact same scene.
The stuff.
The Stuff, The Thing, Predator,
Yeah.
Well, hell,
fucking
even
Killer
Slither
Clowns
made
from
a
Outer
point to
Space.
reference
You know, like, there's always, like, some... And then,
Creep Show.
the Lonesome
King.
Death of
Yep,
Jordy
yeah.
Verrill.
it.
Yep.
And Slither even did a nod to it in, like, in their movie.
Yeah, anytime a
Killer
movie...
Clowns from Outer
I
Space.
said that already.
Oh, you did?
I did.
You said it earlier.
No, I just said it a moment ago,
Yeah.
too, though.
Oh.
Fail, Ken.
Anytime a movie starts with something coming to Earth like that, you know that whatever that thing is bad. They eat the campers, the shadow. There's like a cool scene of the shadow of the creature on the tent wall eating the peoples.
And it grows bigger after eating them.
And then the next morning, it's a rainy day. Some lady gets up out of bed in a sheer nightgown that you can see her boobies through.
Yep.
You made a note of that too, the boobies.
Yeah. It was like I had to.
Well, yeah, I mean, anytime there are boobies, that's noteworthy. But the basement's flooded again. God damn it! So the dude goes down to check it out and is promptly eaten in the basement. That's to get the bloody light bulb, a la Evil Dead 2.
Yep. I put a note about that.
And the wife goes to check on her husband because he never comes back, and she gets the hand on her shoulder.
It's a severed hand.
Yeah, it's the severed arm poking out of the alien's mouth, and then it rips her fucking face off,
With
which is
such
awesome.
an awesome effect.
I wrote a really just like a grind song about Deadly Spawn one time, and like the only lyric I can remember from it is they've come from outer space to eat your mother's face, the Deadly Spawn.
Nice.
That's there was a lot more to it, but that's
Did
all
she get her head chopped off?
Yeah.
Okay, you know who owns that, right?
Who?
The severed head from that?
Gene Simmons, wasn't it?
Simmons, yeah.
Really?
He owns it, yeah.
Why?
Because the fucking dude who did the effects, maybe? Or the director? I might have been him. I don't know. He interviewed Gene Simmons for something, and he just gave it to him. I'm sure Gene Simmons
Yeah, he probably
threw
doesn't
it
have
away.
it anymore.
No, he threw that shit away.
Because he's a fucking dick face.
Oh, yeah.
I can't make any money on this.
He probably tried, like, took pieces off it and made shit and sold it for action figure that he made out of it.
Then the sister and husband of the woman who has just been eaten, they wake up, they're visiting. Turns out that they're visiting because, like, the uncle is a psychiatrist and he wants to interview the
son?
the son, his nephew, because they think he's a weirdo.
Because he's all obsessed with horror.
Because he's fucking Tommy Jarvis.
Yep.
So the aunt and the uncle, they wake up and they see the note about the couple being gone for the day, so their absence goes unnoticed. Nobody thinks that they've been eaten in the basement. And we get introduced to the kids. Pete, the older brother, the science nerd, and Charlie, the younger brother, the horror nerd. I like that they're both nerds.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. Ahead of its time writing, Freaks and Geeks and fucking...
Yeah.
Stranger Things and all that stuff. Like, none of that. Yeah, obviously none of that stuff was even a blip on the radar. Yeah, making the nerds and the geeks the heroes of the movie that wasn't like it wasn't something that typically happened before fucking I don't know up until a few years ago. It seems like so.
Yeah, there was always just some random straggler nerd who gets killed in a group.
Yeah, mostly those nerds were just like the nerds from like. Well, nerds.
Yeah,
nerds.
The guys who can't get laid and get made fun of or whatever. But goddamn it, we saved the day too.
That's right.
So the aunt leaves for her fucking stupid vegetarian luncheon at her goddamn mom's house, and the uncle stays behind to psychoanalyze Charlie and ask him a bunch of questions, and he asks him to put on a costume and scare him.
Yeah.
It's like really weird.
Mm-hmm.
Creepy and rapey and...
The whole approach was rapey.
Little Corey Haim.
There
Dear Lord.
There it
There's
is.
a second Corey Haim joke. Right
Do you
there.
think it was Charlie Sheen? Because he was on Lucas.
I heard... Like, people are... One of the groups I belong to on Facebook, you belong to it too.
Yep.
Instead of a dead pool, it's a rape pool. We're trying to, guess. And Charlie Sheen's name does keep coming up.
Well, he was with them in Lucas, and it was supposedly a big name actor.
Yeah.
Who else was in Lucas? Was it John Favreau was in it? He wasn't big enough for that. I mean, and it's disappointing if it is Charlie Sheen because it's not surprising.
Before they said it was an actor, I considered that maybe it was Spielberg.
No, come on, man.
I wouldn't think it was Spielberg.
Now we're gonna get
Oh,
sued.
whoa! He was also in his very first movie. He was in with Robert Downey Jr. So
that was another name that kept coming
Really?
up. And,
that's right.
And
I
the
didn't
rape
think
pool
about
was Downey
because
Jr.
Corey Feldman's supposed to be outing him soon, isn't he?
That's you can't fucking keep that shit under wraps forever. It's like what's going on with Jim Carrey right now.
What's going on with Jim Carrey?
His ex-girlfriend killed herself because he was a dick, and
I did not
all
hear
these
about
texts are surfacing, and the fact that he gave her a bunch of STDs and lied about it, and
wow, I did not hear about any of that.
I don't know. I thought Jim Carrey was supposed to be evolved. He's doing all these seminars and shit for like Hope and stuff like that.
that guy's a total fucking slimeball asshole.
Damn it.
He like beat up his ex-wife or something too, I think.
Wow.
But anyway, I digress. We've gone well off the rails here.
Yeah, we're talking about a rapey guy talking to a kid that's really... Then it ended up Jim Carrey's an asshole. Okay.
The electrician arrives and is obviously eaten by the basement monster. And Charlie goes downstairs for some reason. I can't remember why Charlie goes downstairs, but he encounters the alien.
I think he went down there just because he seen the door was open, and I think he just wanted to investigate.
He sees all the baby aliens eating the electrician, and the big one spits his mom's head out right at his feet, and honestly, I think this kid does one of the best jobs in the movie. Like his reaction.
His reaction is like he's almost annoyed at certain points. He's just looking